I'm a retro gamer. I love both recent and old games, but specifically games created by Sega: Revenge of the Shinobi, Streets of Rage, and Sonic, and Golden Axe. But a month ago, something happened. Something that made me look at these wonderful games in another perspective. It was a foggy night, 3 a.m. to be more specific, and I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on my emulator. Since I wasn't sleepy, I chose both Sonic and Tails as my character and started playing. After reaching the chemical plant zone, I got bored, so I decided to play a little with the characters. I went to a part of the zone where I could find many enemies such as Grabber, a spider that grabs the character and then self-destructs, and Spinny, who shoots balls of acid. I used Tails to have a little fun, since he's invincible and imitates every move that Sonic makes. I took a few steps so the enemy could see me, and when it attacked, I ran, leaving Tails behind, and I did that several times until something weird happened. All of a sudden, Tails' animation changed to the one that he makes when he drowns, and the sound was different too. It was the sound your character makes when it touches spikes without having any rings left. The sound was very loud too, even more than usual. I thought it was a bug since the game was played on an emulator. I waited for Tails to appear again, but he never showed up. I decided to reset the game, and everything was normal, except for the part where the logo is supposed to appear, showing in Tails and Sonic smiling. When I looked at it, Tails was missing. He just wasn't there at all. And instead of Sonic smiling, Sonic had a weird reaction, like he was disappointed or somewhat depressed. I was getting a little uneased by this. It was just too weird to be a simple emulator bug, but I tried to dodge it and I began playing again. I went to the option to choose both Sonic and Tails like I did last time, but the only options there were only Sonic. The other options were missing. I didn't know what to think. I began playing, and when I looked at Sonic's sprite on the Emerald Hill Zone, he had the wrong expression. He looked uncomfortable, like when you don't touch the controller for some time. I controlled Sonic, but even running, his expression didn't change. I was seriously creeped out. So I closed the emulator, turned on my Sega Genesis so I could play it correctly without all those... I didn't even know what to call them, but I'm sure those weren't just bugs. They couldn't have been just bugs. They couldn't have been. When the game started, Sega's logo was different. It was red, and the sound was louder, like the one I had heard when Tails disappeared. I tried to believe it was just a glitch because the console was already very old, but I was starting to have my doubts. In spite of that weird glitch, everything was back to normal. Tails was there again, the sprites were okay, and the sounds too. I sighed in relief and started playing. When I reached the boss, I didn't have any rings, and accidentally Tails touched Robotnik's car and made the same animation he made on the chemical plant zone, and the game froze. I started freaking out, and I reset it. The screen was now white with no Sega logo. No sprites, no sounds, no nothing. I quit. I was very creeped out by it now, and when I went to turn off the console, a text box appeared. I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen such a thing in a game. I was more surprised by the text, to be honest. You killed him. I tried to press all the buttons on the controller, but nothing worked. I also tried to turn off the console, but it didn't work either. I even tried to turn off the television, but nothing worked. I was very scared by now. I sat on the sofa and grabbed the controller again, and then another text box appeared. You destroyed his life. Are you going to try and destroy mine too? Are you having fun? Are you? I pressed the button A again, and I was now in the chemical plant zone. The background was different though. The background was more darker than usual, and I could see different shades of red. It almost looked like blood. The music was different too. It was the boss music, but reversed and slow. And only Sonic was there. The gameplay was normal besides one thing. When I defeated an enemy, instead of a sprite of a bunny or a chicken, I would see the same animal but torn apart in a puddle of blood. The blood looked fucking realistic. And I didn't even reach the second stage. In the end, at the first stage, I couldn't control Sonic anymore. He began running for 2 minutes, and when he stopped, another text box appeared.
Are you ready? Are you ready to see what you've done to him?
I was speechless. I asked myself what I could have done to let this happen, but then I realized, did I kill Tails? No. I couldn't believe it. It was just a game. It was just a bunch of codes. I couldn't do such a thing. But then, as I thought about this, another text box appeared. But this one was different. There was just a yes and no option. I didn't hesitate and I chose no. I knew it. I knew I couldn't. I knew I couldn't even choose that option, but I did. And just like I thought, I couldn't even choose that option. I had to choose yes. The game wanted me to choose yes. I did that. It was a horrible mistake. The screen faded to black for about 5 seconds. And after those 5 seconds, I saw a close-up of Tails. He was full of wounds and his guts were thrown out and he was missing an eye. That image was so somehow realistic. I almost felt sick. And then another text box appeared.
I hope you're happy. You killed me. Were you having fun with it? I know you were. Do you want to do it again? Play with me again. I'm just a simple toy for you. A simple toy for all of you.
I was horrified. I felt something different inside me. Was it guilt? It couldn't be. I'm sure more players already did this with Tails, but was he really in pain? And after that, I never touched a retro game again. I spend my days playing in PS4. But every time my character dies, I remember what happened to Tails that day. I won't ever forget what happened.